If your 18th century penal colony looks like a nightmare, you're probably Mary Bryant, a woman whose life story is a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Born in the late 1760s in Cornwall, England, Mary was thrust into a world of hardship and adversity from a young age. Her journey from a small village in Cornwall to the harsh penal colonies of Australia is nothing short of extraordinary. Mary Bryant, the woman who defied all odds to escape Australia, is a figure of remarkable resilience and courage. Her story begins in the picturesque yet impoverished region of Cornwall, where she grew up in a family struggling to make ends meet. The harsh realities of 18th century England meant that many, like Mary, were driven to desperate measures to survive. In the late 1700s, Mary Bryant, a young woman from Cornwall, England, was sentenced to 7 years in a brutal penal colony in New South Wales. Her crime? Stealing a bonnet. This seemingly minor theft was enough to seal her fate, as the British legal system of the time was notoriously harsh, especially towards the poor and disenfranchised. Mary's sentencing was part of a broader effort by the British government to alleviate overcrowding in domestic prisons by transporting convicts to far-flung colonies. Her crime? Stealing a bonnet. This act of desperation, driven by the need to survive, led to a punishment that would change the course of her life forever. The bonnet, a simple piece of clothing, became a symbol of the harsh and unforgiving nature of the British justice system. The journey to Australia was a death sentence for many, with harsh conditions claiming lives before they even reached the shores. The convicts were packed into overcrowded ships, facing months of grueling travel across treacherous seas. Disease, malnutrition, and brutal treatment by the crew were common, and many did not survive the voyage. For Mary, the journey was a harrowing introduction to the brutal realities of life as a convict. With harsh conditions claiming lives before they even reached the shores, the journey was fraught with peril. The convicts endured storms, rough seas, and the constant threat of illness. The ships were often battered by the elements, and the convicts confined to the lower decks suffered immensely. The journey was a test of endurance, and for those who survived, it was only the beginning of their ordeal. And once there, Sydney Cove offered little more than despair. Scarce food, rampant disease, and no hope of escape. The penal colony was a harsh and unforgiving place, where convicts were forced to toil under the scorching sun, building the infrastructure of the new settlement. Food was scarce and disease was rampant, with many succumbing to the harsh conditions. The dream of freedom seemed distant and unattainable. But Mary wasn't alone. She married fellow convict William Bryant, and together they had 2 children. Their union was a rare source of solace in an otherwise bleak existence. William, like Mary, had been transported for a minor crime, and together they faced the daily struggles of life in the penal colony. Their children, born into this harsh environment, became a beacon of hope for the couple, fueling their desire for a better life. Life was a never-ending struggle, and like many, they dreamt of freedom. The Bryants, along with their fellow convicts, endured back-breaking labour, inadequate rations, and the constant threat of punishment. Yet amidst the hardship, they clung to the hope of one day escaping their grim reality. The dream of freedom became a driving force, pushing them to consider the unthinkable. In 1791, after years of suffering, the Bryants, along with 7 other desperate souls, stole a small government boat. This daring act of defiance was a testament to their determination and courage. The group meticulously planned their escape, gathering supplies and waiting for the right moment to seize the boat. Their plan was fraught with risk, but the prospect of freedom was worth any danger. With barely enough supplies, they embarked on a perilous 3,000-mile journey across treacherous seas to the Dutch East Indies. The small boat, ill-equipped for such a journey, was their only hope. They faced the vast expanse of the ocean, knowing that failure meant certain death. The journey was a test of their resolve, as they navigated through uncharted waters, battling the elements and their own fears. For over 2 months they battled severe storms, starvation and illness. The sea was unforgiving and the small boat was constantly at the mercy of the waves. Food and water were scarce, and the group had to ration their supplies carefully. Illness took its toll, and the constant threat of discovery added to their anxiety. Yet, through sheer determination, they pressed on, driven by the hope of reaching safety. Yet against all odds, they reached Timor, posing as shipwreck survivors. Their arrival in the Dutch East Indies was a moment of triumph, but their ordeal was far from over. The group had to maintain their ruse, convincing the authorities that they were legitimate shipwreck survivors. This required careful planning and quick thinking, as any slip-up could lead to their capture. Their ability to adapt and persevere was a testament to their resilience. Their incredible ruse bought them some time, but eventually the truth caught up. The authorities grew suspicious, and the group's story began to unravel. The realization that their freedom was slipping away was devastating, but they faced their fate with the same courage that had carried them through their journey. Captured and sent back to England, Mary faced unimaginable heartbreak. Captured and sent back to England, Mary faced unimaginable heartbreak. The return journey was a grim reminder of the harsh realities they had tried to escape. The conditions on the ship were brutal, and illness claimed the lives of many, including Mary's beloved husband and children. The loss was a crushing blow, but Mary's spirit remained unbroken. She faced her trial with dignity, determined to survive. She lost her husband and children to illness on the return voyage, but her spirit was indomitable. The grief was overwhelming, but Mary found strength in the memory of her loved ones. Her resilience in the face of such profound loss was a testament to her character. She became a symbol of hope and perseverance, inspiring others with her story. Back in England, Mary's astounding escape captivated the public, earning her sympathy and ultimately her release in 1793. Her story resonated with people from all walks of life, and she became a figure of public interest. The support she received was a reflection of the changing attitudes towards convicts and the recognition of their humanity. Mary's release was a triumph, not just for her, but for all those who had suffered under the harsh penal system. Mary Bryant's journey stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, an unforgettable saga of courage and determination. Her story is a reminder of the strength and resilience that lies within us all. It is a tale of hope, perseverance, and the unyielding desire for freedom. Mary's legacy lives on, inspiring generations to come with her remarkable journey. An unforgettable saga of courage and determination. Mary Bryant's life is a powerful reminder of the human capacity to overcome even the most daunting challenges. Her story continues to inspire, reminding us that no matter how dire the circumstances, the human spirit can endure and triumph.